So before I begin, obviously there's no good or bad, right or wrong way to live life. Living your life is completely subjective. You can live it the way you choose to. So of course there's no shade or me hating on Azaela's view and perspective. That's just his way of living life, and people live it like that. And there's also people who don't live it like that. And I'm one of the few that, or not, I'm one of the people that don't live it like that. And I kind of want to just main point of this video is just open up discussion, try to elaborate on the people who don't live like that, because I know there's a lot of people who do, and or at least agree on his view of living life like that. And I'm just gonna come out here and speak and talk, and hopefully I can find people who kind of sort of have the same idea as me on the perspective and the idea of life, and then we can discuss and create conversation, and we can kind of open up and see what other people think, because I'd really like to see how other people agree or disagree to his perspective, my perspective, and things like that. So first off, I'm going to cover his video really quickly. For those who haven't watched it, you should. It's a pretty nice video. It's pretty popular, so you can search it up. Just Exist Bro, I believe, is a name. And so yeah, basically Just Exist Bro. I am stuttering. As you can tell in the title, you can probably tell the main point of the video is to just keep swimming, is basically what he says as well. He quotes it, just keep swimming. I'm gonna assume it's a reference to the movie Nemo, essentially saying you just have to live life, just let it flow, go where the wind takes you kind of vibe, right? And to break it down further, I kind of drew up 5 main points that I could kind of take from his video. If these weren't the main points of his video, just let me know. These are kind of the main things that I came across, and I just want to speak on it and then kind of talk about how I aim to live my life. So first thing he kind of talks about is that life is a flow. You don't need to force things. Opportunities, experiences will all come back around in a cycle, which I think is true. I don't necessarily disagree on this. I personally have trouble with this, and it's obviously a main point of this video is also keeping mental health, and this is mentally draining if you're always worried about missing an opportunity, if you're beating yourself up over a missed opportunity, a missed chance. So I thought this was really nice, a really nice point he kind of pointed out, that everything in life will come back, whether it be that same opportunity, whether it be a different opportunity, or maybe it's a different path that you start on and then it ends up being that same opportunity. So nothing ever looks the same, but it may be the same in the end. But a really nice kind of point that he made. I don't agree with it. I agree with it. I thought that was really nice, Azaela. Second point was shifting from doing to being. So this is kind of where we shift. We kind of go different pathways. So he kind of emphasizes on, instead of being and constantly feeling the need to do something, like you must do things, simply exist and choose what you want to do to create a sense of peace instead of doing what you need to do, right? So I agree to this to a certain extent. In an ideal world where there's no consequences, of course, I would also want to drop everything I'm doing and relax and just do what I want to do. What I want to do, I want to watch sports. I want to play video games. I want to watch YouTube. I want to watch Netflix. I want to do these things. I want to do these things every single day, right? But the thing is, if you only choose to do what you want to do, at a certain point you have to face the consequences. There's no way about it. That's just how it works. There's no way you can always choose what you want to do 24/7 the entire rest of your life, right? But there's a way where you can kind of choose what you want to do more, I feel like. And if you look at it, if you kind of do things this way, there's a way you can create in the long run you can be more at peace, and like he said, do what you want to do rather than doing the things that you need to do. And in order to get to that spot, you have to do the things that you need to do before you will do the things that you want to. So what I kind of mean by that is, if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to be rich, if you want to, just be financially free, you're not going to want to do those things and become that, right? You have to do things. You need to do things in order to become that. So what you need, if you're starting a business, you need to learn about, you need to get a business license, or I don't know a lot about starting businesses. You need to make connections. You need to start if it's online, your online website and things like that. So there's different things you need to do if you want to get to the point where you want to choose what you want to do, right? So, and maybe it's not about money, because I'm gonna assume that much of his content or much of his kind of character, he's not too focused on the money aspect. So if you want to maybe live a long life, you're not just going to sit there eating what you want to. Obviously, if you want to, I'd want to eat ice cream. I want to eat junk food. I want to eat good food, right? But most of the times, good food doesn't taste good. So you need to eat your vegetables. You need to eat food that kind of helps your body live that long, right? Because you want to live long. So it's not all about just doing what you want to do. At some point, you have to face the consequences. If you're going to do that, if you're fine with facing those consequences, then you truly just do what you want to. But I think for most of us, it's nice hearing that you can just do what you want to. It's very, very nice to hear. But in the reality of things, it's not doable. It's not ideal in the world we live right now. So you have to do things that you need to do before you can get to the point where you do the things that you want to, I think, is how I kind of look at things in regards to a second point from just shifting from doing to being. And then the third thing is mindset of emptiness, kind of letting go of external judgments, attachments, and unnecessary thoughts, allow for a more peaceful and free existence. So from the first listen, I agree with this, right? Let go of your external thoughts, your unnecessary thoughts, attachments, external judgments. And to a certain point, again, I think it's good to let go of things, right? And to let your mind just be empty, and not empty, but be at peace. But we're humans. I don't think this will ever, unless you're under some sort of medication or drug influence. I don't know if 90% of us, 80% of us, 70% of us are ever able to just let go of external judgments, attachments, and unnecessary thoughts. Again, I think this is just a really easy thing to say. I don't think everything's easy to say. Everything's hard to do and easy to say, but I just don't think maybe this is just me, my opinion, which it is. This entire video is based off of my opinion, how I look at things. I just don't think this is good for you. And there's always going to be that little voice in your mind, that unnecessary thought, and trying to get rid of that, just whether that gets rid of your sense of drive, your motivation, whether that kind of drives you even more crazy just because you're so focused on letting go of things when it's just human nature to be attached to certain things, to be attached to whatever you are attached to, trying to let go of that and just adopt a sense of peace and nothingness kind of, and just like a flow state. I just don't think is kind of counterproductive to what he's talking about, and essentially just inherently isn't healthy for you in the long run. So I think adopting to your attachment, or not attachments, but kind of adapting to it instead of letting it go is the better way to go about it. And then the fourth thing he talks about, freedom through letting go. By not being attached to what others think or expect, you can live authentically. I think this is true. I don't agree with this. This is maybe he has a different way of like the thought of letting go. So for me, I don't care what others think in order to do something that I need to do. Maybe he doesn't care what other people think in order to do what he wants to do. Well, the point is, I agree with what he said here. Freedom through letting go. I think it's important in general, obviously, just to not care what other people think of you. Obviously, it's harder said than done, like everything in this world. But it's important to do that so you can do the things that you want to do, that you need to do, want to do, like he said, like he covered. And the first step in doing that is just not caring and doing the things that are in your own best interest. And so, yeah, so the fifth thing here, enjoying the process, whether it's talking, making videos, or just sitting in silence. Finding joy in the moment matters more than chasing validation. And I agree. I agree that finding joy and peace in the moment is crucial, and not always looking in the past or in the future is important. So finding joy in the moment that you are in right now. But the thing is, I don't think, or maybe people do, but I'm not living life for validation. I think that kind of reveals a little bit about maybe what Azaela thinks that life kind of is chasing validation, which is not. He talked about not being attached to what other people expect, but then he also talks about finding joy in moments that matter without chasing or validation or what other people think about. So I think much of what he kind of thinks to get away from life is validation. I think that's one of his more I don't want to say struggles, but more of the things that he kind of focuses on is kind of refraining from validation. That's something I don't really struggle with a lot. I don't really seek validation or attention, or not attention, but meeting the expectations of others. And so yeah, I agree that finding joy in the moment is important, but it's not to just to get rid of validation. It's to truly just enjoy the moment. I think that kind of beats the purpose. If you're finding joy in the moment, just so you can kind of tell yourself, oh yeah, I don't need validation. I don't think that then you're not finding joy in the moment. You should be finding joy in the moment just to appreciate that you're here, that you're doing something. Appreciate that I'm recording this video, and not being afraid of what other people think, or kind of or trying to get away from and telling yourself that you don't need validation. I think that kind of beats the point. But yeah, that was just what he talked about. Main point. Just keep swimming. Just be there. Be present. Be a human being, and just live. And I agree, right? Agree to that, again, to a certain extent. However, my view in life, how I structure, is that we're here for a reason. We're here for a purpose. We are a human being. We were sent down here on Earth, not Mars, not Jupiter, not Saturn. On Earth, we're beating millions, billions of sperm cells to be able to sit here today. For me to be able to record this video, I've beaten billions of sperm cells. For you to watch this video, you beat 1,000,000,000 to 1 odds. So you were sent down here for a purpose. You are not here by coincidence. You were sent down here by God, whatever you believe. For me personally, Lord Jesus, to live your life to the fullest, to be the best person that you can be. And I just think it's kind of wasteful or kind of selfish to kind of just exist and not try to be try to be the best version of yourself, right? And this is not me saying to become to meet like societal expectations of what is defined as the best person. I'm saying whether that means to be, I don't know, whether you to be the best person in what you want to become. If you get what I'm saying. So if you want to become the best drummer, become the best drummer. If you want to become the best, I don't know, YouTuber, become the best YouTuber. If you want to become the best sleeper, become the best sleeper. I'm naming all different types of things. It's not just meeting what society thinks is the best. It's saying you were sent down here for a purpose. So whatever you want to do, whatever you want to become the best version of yourself. Do it with 100% effort, and just have a purpose, have a goal set for yourself. And I think that's really, really important to find structure in life. And if you're unable to do that, I think if you live by just living, I think at some point it's not good for your mental health either. You'll kind of feel lost. So yeah, I think it's always good to have a goal, to know where you want to be, to know where you want to be at, and just work your way in order to get to that place, to get to that certain position. It gives you a sense of purpose. You're constantly bettering yourself, and it's just basically a big thank you to you beating the odds, a big thank you to whatever you believe, a big thank you for me to God for sending me down here, for me to be able to stay safe from the millions of tragedy that happens every second of the world. I don't think is a coincidence, and I think personally it's really, really selfish to not make the best out of that opportunity. And this opportunity, I don't think, comes around. Life is one time. This one doesn't come around again. Make the most out of it. That's just my opinion on it. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this opens up an area of discussion. Sorry for the confusion a bit late in this last kind of video. I'm trying to do this all in one shot. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, and I will be back soon with the normal content, hopefully, if I find a setup. I'm not going to force anything.